Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Jackson and I'm going to be talking about using sign language as a way to communicate. Manual signs have been used frequently as communication for children or individuals with autism or other disabilities for a long time. Um, Sign language is an augmentative alternative form of communication that is unaided, meaning you don't need a book or device to help you communicate. All you really need is the listener's attention or their eyes and your hands, the learner's hands. Um, Sign language is unaided and it's very portable, so you can use it anywhere and you don't have to rely on having a device or a book with you at all times, so that is a benefit. However, a con, which I just kind of mentioned, is you need to gain attention from the listener first before you can make a request or asking for something. A few signs that I've implemented quite a bit are usually high reinforcers, so you're going to teach an early learner some commands, and that may be like chip, drink, or eat. Those are like early reinforcers and quick and easy, fast ones that you can teach to early learners. And the motor is not too fine, so most kids can get their hand to their cheek, or you can help aid them that way. Or if it's just eat in general, getting their hand to their mouth to sign eat if they're hungry. The best, the uses of sign has been found to help aid in speech production. However, there's not a ton of research that it really is one of the ways to teach speech. And it did studies have found that it really accelerates speech production. However, hearing the word over and over again, if you're teaching chip, every time the child signs chip, you're repeating the word as they're signing it. So if a child signs chip, you're going to mirror back to them chip, the same request that they're making, also giving the reinforcer of a chip at the same time and vocally saying it to them. So eventually, your hope would be that the child would start to maybe mimic the vocal sounds of chip. So it may be ip, it may be tip, which could be a great approximation. So you could pair the sound with the sign and eventually maybe fading the sign chip and just get the vocal tip or ip coming out. And eventually your whole goal would be getting a vocal sound rather than just the sign. However, the use of sign has been found to prelude to production of speech, but one study suggested that teaching signs does not accelerate speech development. And that was from Ray 2008 article. So I just kind of demonstrated a little bit of some signs. There's a lot more that I've taught to just early learners, so around the ages, I would say like 2 to 5. Some examples would be the one I said, chip. You could do mom and dad. You could, so requesting to see mom or dad, requesting to eat a chip. You could have a child request to drink. So that could be any drink, mostly if there's a cup sitting on the table. So if I'll use my coffee cup. If there's a cup available and you see the child reaching for the cup, you can fully prompt them the sign drink and saying the word drink at the same time. So fully prompt drink from the child and then obviously give them the reinforcer directly after that. So if you see them reach for it again, you're going to try to use a lesser prompt to get that hand up to the mouth, forming like a C for cup or drink, and fade appropriately. Your overall goal would be for the child to sign drink with no prompts and do it independently. So they would have to obviously get your attention. So whether that be manual, like looking at you, making eye contact, or making a grunt or tapping you on the shoulder, and then independently signing drink, and you would say, "Oh, here's your drink. Yes, drink," and then you would sign back and use the vocal word for what the reinforcer, what they're asking. In my history of teaching sign language to early learners, we always use a few reinforcers that are highly motivating. Some other examples may be have it signing play. So you're working at the table and the child would like to go play, which is a little bit more of a fine motor skill to get the pinky and the thumbs up and signing play. So if the child were unable to sign that, you could use an approximation. So maybe first just getting thumbs up and moving them back and forth, or just getting the fists and signing play. However, a con to that is an outsider may not know what play means. And also a con is if their fine motor is not that great. So it kind of depends on the learner on what signs you want to teach. I have read that it's easier to teach MANs, and you want to pick a few easy reinforcers. A harder one that may be hard to teach is like swing, if they really like to swing. So you would full prompt swing to maybe go to the swing, or once they're on the swing, you're going to have to remove them from the swing and have, use both hands to sign for swing. There's no question that manual signs are portable. They're more permanent. You have to use the learner's memory, so they have to be able to recall different signs. And they're readily available, so you can use them all the time. You don't have to make sure you have a book or device with you. And that is, one of the biggest pros to manual signs. However, a con is not everyone knows what the sign may be. Maybe just their kind of inner circle, teachers, paraprofessionals in the classroom, friends, close family members, and so forth. And the last thing I want to say is they have to gain the listener's attention. So before, if I'm a learner and I need something from you, or I'm asking for, say chips or to eat, I need to go, access your attention first. Because if I'm signing and nobody's looking at me, then nobody knows I'm really asking for anything. Another limitation is just the motor skills. So again, that goes to picking the right communication system that's appropriate for your learner. So if they have poor motor skills, you're probably going to have to do some approximations of the sign language. However, you can always, change that as the learner grows. And then always going back and refreshing and going over old signs as they gain kind of more vocabulary. And then pairing those signs with sounds is very important too. I hope I have given you enough information about sign language. I'm pretty passionate about it. I support it. And I think it's a great way for, with my experience, earning learners having a way to communicate. All right, thank you.